Shout out to all the black knights out there. Yeah, shout out to all the black knights out there. Doing your thing and making sure that you don't live like a white knight and be like a white knight. Now, with that said, just think about damsels being rare. Well, you know, a damsel, that means an unmarried virgin. That's damsel. We know how rare that is. But let's put this in context of the age, you know, the tweens and the early 20s. Yeah, but most of them have already been exposed to this society in some way or another. She's already been touched in some ways, whether physical or non-physical. A lot of them now, depending on the way they were raised and brought up and stuff, they use a lot of guys for dates and things, and they don't feel attracted to those guys in any way. And a lot of it has due to the way their childhood has been molded and shaped based on really just what she was exposed to within that time. And that's pretty much been her foundation. So really with that said, I mean, you're not going to see a damsel in distress. You're going to see a damsel with finesse. And that's what we see with them. So even if she is untouched, she's been touched in other ways. She doesn't see the value of a real man overall. Like, she friend zoned a lot of guys that are decent guys. Like the Black Knight type, she would probably barely noticed. Yeah, she would probably barely notice. Because at that point, she doesn't feel like she's in distress. Especially given the way society is making her not be that way. You know, you see most of them are off into all these colleges. They make up a majority of every college and university. There's a large percentage advantage of the feminine that are attending colleges and universities versus the masculine. More gals and less guys are attending those universities. And you see a lot of the young ones, they're toned up, tight right, and ripe, if you will. And yet the way they think, like I said, they're becoming more of damsels with finesse versus damsels in distress, because to them, there's no kingdom burning around them. There's no scorched earth around them. They're doing fine. At least that's what it looks like on paper. And so that's why, like, when you live a certain way, you just don't really give too much thought about the damsels either. Even though, you know, a lot of guys, they would want to have a younger type of feminine around them. But hey, she could be just as tainted as the older one too. Yes, the damsel can be just as tainted. Yes, the damsel can be just as tainted as the spinster. And that's not giving the spinster any pass either. Just saying. Thanks a million.